My name is Renata Pojak. I'm a video artist mainly. I do films. The moving image and the storytelling is like what I'm interested in. Grandma and like relatives that I'm close to come from the island, Brač. So I feel that I'm like from the island also. Being on the island, this was always this kind of ontological question for me. The sea was always this part of bringing you apart and also separating you for the rest of the world. Lots of my works deal with the sea, especially the last one that is presented here on the boat. That it's called the Songs for the Sea. Normally, I always go from like migration from the sea, from personal experience. I try to reflect like global issues, always coming from me. And this one speaks about ecologics. We created a song for the sea. So I went to the idea not through drama and not from problem, but from the idea, let's help the sea. Can we sing for the sea? Can we make it feel better? So I worked with a very known Sevdah singer.
Yes,
from the moment she was born, the singer Amira Medunjanin, she had this voice like you always felt it's coming like from centuries ago. We made a song with her, singing and praising the sea and bringing the sea the new old myth, which means that our lives came out from the sea. In our belief, we came from the God. So it's this kind of like I'm bringing the power back to the sea. And if we approach the sea this way, maybe we can change the energy of the sea and help him a little bit. The projects that I did before this last month's Songs for the Sea, they always were like really related to the island. And the whole story of migration, I was very touched. And so now hearing that there are some other people who are having the same issues, but now they cross the sea to save themselves, it was very, very close to me in a way. And I wanted to like deal with this subject of migration and that the sea became a graveyard, sort of. The project I made was called Partenza, Yet Another Departure, and Porvenir. These are three films that work sort of together. And the last one was filmed in Chile, because great-grandfather of mine, 100 years ago, he went to Chile as a promised land. And so I went to the promised land to see what's the promised land. And the promised land is like ice, cold, and huge wind.
Tvoja obećana zemlja bila je kraj svijeta. Dno zemaljske kugle.
He traveled for 3 months, so like, sort of we all have migration in our veins, and it's just a question of time when the sea is again going to be migration for us. So, you know, like for us it was 100 years ago, people from Africa, it's now. I just wanted to connect all these stories. So being on Malta and being on the island, which is in the middle of Mediterranean, I think it's going to be a very good source for my next research. What I like about the sea, about the motive in the sea itself, it's full of contradictions. The sea helps you, it heals you. On the other side, the sea is dividing, the sea is very dangerous. So in between this kind of beneficial and dangerous, this contradiction that the sea gives, for me, was always very rich in art-wise. My first film was shot under the water. This contradiction that I was carrying in me and that I was trying to show in my work somehow found the right medium. Not only because like I first time used the camera, but it was also because the camera was under the sea. This contradiction that if you feel anger and then if you put it under the sea and if you do some gestures which are like full of anger, you through things, then they become totally senseless. This goes up and this becomes a very beautiful scene. The sea carries this kind of contradiction in itself. It can be both. The sea is living these both things together all the time. It's very interesting for me from that point of view.